That's a debate. That's what we are going to have. So the whole point of this debate is that you understand that we, the teachers here, we are not here to tell you everything how it is. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, maybe because I'm used to reading, medieval texts. There is no question. There was no question in Myanmar 1,000 years ago that pariyatti means Pali. The pariyatti, I'm going to state the obvious, but pariyatti is the is one side and patipatti is the other side. So it was not clear. I will reformulate. Pariyatti is more important or patipatti is more important. Now is it more clear? Okay? Forget about your preparation. Forget about your papers. Forget about your notes. Think. Because this is, what do you think about this? And here, basically, it's what do you think and how would you approach the question from the point of view of yes, from the point of view of no. So reformulating and making it very simple. Is pariyatti is more important than patipatti or not? That is, the learning is more important than the practice or not? So on my right side, we have the team that will say yes. May I invite the first speaker of team A?
Good afternoon, all team and lecturers and all friends of the folk judgment. It's good to do debate. Actually, I'm prepared in the point of language, 5 pages. Then now, change to subject, so I have to speak 2 pages. Don't worry. Okay, learning Pali Texts pariyatti is the most important in Buddhist education. I strongly believe because pariyatti is sasanada mulan. Pariyatti is the life of sasanas. So pariyatti is very important. If you don't know pariyatti in meditation, in pariyatti, you can mistake. You have many mistakes. So pariyatti is very important. In Pranidhana Sutta, the Buddhist and the Maharist, they meet. Maharist approached the Buddhist to persuade, but the Buddhist replied, I never persuade as long as my disciples and bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, laymen are not able to converse with the pariyatti and converse with the Dhammas like this. So it is very important pariyattis. Now the Buddha persuade because he believes his disciples, monks and lay and nuns, laymen. So for pariyattis or for a long life or sasanas, and the Buddha believes his disciples were conversing with, well learned the pariyattis, and then the new generation students were propagated, were preserved the Buddha's teaching. So now it is 2,500 years old, the Buddha's sasanas. So to be long until 5,000 years, pariyatti were preserved as the main point in Buddha's teaching. If you don't know pariyattis, at the next generation, the practice, the instruction were lost. Why are pariyattis? Why are nivanas? Okay, and then another point to ensure the real teachings of the Buddhas or to determine this is the Buddha teaching or not. There are 4 Mahaprasas. There are 4 Mahaprasas, 4 principles. Soda, Nuloma, Astriyawara, and Normandies. So, to decide it is right or no, I have to know Soda, Nuloma, Astriyawara, and Normandy. So, if someone practices meditation or someone do pariyattis, but why he meets with confusions, why he meets any guidance, where to find teacher? So, to correct his wrongs or right, they must find the good teacher. The good teacher might be comparison with Soda Nuloma, Astria Varas Autonomy. Soda means the whole Pedigrist, the whole Pali, and the whole Winia of Sodas. Soda Nuloma means in the past Buddhist councils, 500 arahants but prescribes some teachings not included, which are not included in Pali, in the Buddha teaching. Asriyavara means, Sauda means the whole Pedigrist, the whole Buddha's teachings and Buddha's Vinayas Dhammas. Sauda Nuloma means some Saudas which are relevant to the Buddha's teaching. Asriyavara means which has the 500 monks, 500 arahants present as a Taggras. Autonomy means others literatures exception from Soda Nuloma Astia. So autonomy is a Tagra or Tiga, anonymity, candy, or includes in the autonomy. So to make judgment, the real teachings or the real, the correct path.
Time is up.
So my prayer is very important. Prayer is very important. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair of the debate function here, and Venerable and Sayadaws, and all my Dhamma friends here. Today, I would like to defend the pariyatti is important, but not the most important aspect in Buddhist education. By the following points, I'm going to put up here. From a broader yet most fundamental definition, education is not just a theoretical learning, undertaking, or enterprise, but also more importantly, it's about how to apply, materialize, and make use of the theoretical knowledge we learn to our daily life, whether it is transformed into professional or hard skills that build our career, or be converted to soft skills or wisdom that help us grow wiser and better as a human being. Do you agree? Here, theoretical learning is just a beginning phase in everyone's whole life education, where much of the book knowledge must be upgraded to actual skills and wisdom in order to accomplish the goal of education. Similarly, Buddhist education may encompass 3 stepwise progressive levels: pariyatti, patipatti, and pativeda. Pariyatti is learning the Pali Texts and scriptures, which forms the basics or the foundation of further practice, which is patipatti. And patipatti, consisting of training of sila, samadhi, and panya, leads to realization of the Buddha Dhamma, which is pativeda. And this is the ultimate goal of Buddhist education. So, therefore, to say pariyatti is the most important aspect of Buddhist education is in fact saying to finish the primary school education is the most important aspect of one's education. This is in total ignorance that it is the high school and university education that makes us a real educated person. In Dhammapala 64 and 65 verses, it says, to stop short at pariyatti without venturing to patipatti is like tasting the soup with a spoon rather than with our tongue. Can a spoon really taste the flavor of the soup? This is my question to you. Then someone may argue, without the foundation of pariyatti, how can patipatti and pariveda be accomplished correctly? Therefore, pariyatti must be the most important aspect. This statement sounds reasonable, logical, but may not be practically be the case with Buddhist education. As we can see, even those who have mastered the Pali Text may not necessarily understand much or correctly the true Buddha's teachings. There is ample evidence. That many Pali Texts or Buddhist scholars, especially in the West, may not even profess themselves to be a Buddhist or taking the sila, taking 5 precepts, or doing dana or meditations are of any benefit. Right or not? Here, it is clear that mastery of Pali Text may not necessarily meet the basic goal of Buddhist education, which is to become a good Buddhist, having faith in cultivating wholesome karma and qualities in line with the Buddha's teachings. Whereas such good qualities of a Buddhist could often be found in those who correctly grasped the Dhamma from ways other than studying the Pali Text. For example, when the Buddha dispatched the first 60 Arahant disciples at the very beginning of his missionary to walk alone to spread the message, which is the most direct form of Buddhist education, these enlightened Arahants perhaps may not even be expert in Pali Text, but they still were able to use their tranquil and composure body language along with some simple messages and practical instructions to bring others to the same awakened state they themselves have experienced. Here, the essence of Buddhist education may go beyond any complex theoretical and doctrinal studies, but the inner qualities, body language, virtuous behavior of the teachers, which can prove to be much more impactful and effective to deliver the Buddhist message. Here we have to consider whether the heart of Buddhist education is to make someone an intellectual Dhamma master or someone who can practice Buddha Dhamma to realize the ultimate goal of Buddhist, complete Buddhist education. So thank you very much.
We have 5 minutes now for the teams to prepare their defense, and after that we will continue with 3 rounds of debate.
And even in the many commentaries, even say 5,000 years of a Buddha sasana is actually what indicates this kind of decline in the Buddha sasana is actually less and less people attain the arahatship and attain ariyaships later on. Right now. Thank you.
Second round.
And you said pariyatti is like Conway. and pariyatti is like a milk, like drinking milk. But if you don't have cow, you cannot drink milk. Even though there is a long gap between the days of the Buddha and we are today, why the teachings of the Buddha still existent is because of we have pariyatti. Therefore, learning pariyatti is very important and essential in Theravada Buddhism. That's why in SSBU, all students have to learn pariyatti and Pali Texts as compulsory.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay, you know, in past discourse, Dhammasaka Buena Sutta, Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha, Magas. So the aim of Buddhism is Nibbana. To attain Nibbana, yes, we may practice Noble Eightfold Path. In Noble Eightfold Path, the first part is Samadhi. To get Samadhi, we have two things, Prato Gosat and Amnasigara. So Praso Godas. We have to learn, we have to listen otherwise. So to be right use, we need to listen other people's. Listen other people's is other discourse is pariyatti. So pariyatti is very important to be right view, right samadhi, and to get nibbana. So pariyatti is very important.
Finish. Okay. Okay.
Next one.
Okay. Yes, you said we have to learn the pariyatti. If without pariyatti, we cannot practice properly. The Bande said, but I think pariyatti is important, but not most important especially in the practice. Because if we have more knowledge, more confusion when we do the meditation. So we have two types of learning in Buddhist education, Gantadura and Vipassana Dura. So Gantadura is text learning, Vipassana Dura is the practice. So, but the ultimate goal of the Buddhist education, because the theme is Buddhist education. Buddhist education is different from the other education. We have the goal. Our goal is to attain the Nibbana. To attain the Nibbana, we must practice. We cannot stop at the just learning at the pariyatti level. We have to go further, patipatti and the pativeda. So I think this is the pariyatti is not most important. And another thing is Buddhist education has 5 qualities: satta, sila, chaga, and sutta and panya. So sutta is learning. So Bhikkhu Bodhi, he mentioned in his books, Aims of Buddhist Education book, he said is sutta is a wide knowledge of the Buddhist text, which is to be acquired by extensive reading and persistent study. But mere learning is not sufficient. That is the Bhikkhu Bodhi said. Thank you.
Third round and last.
Hello. First, I would like to begin by the words of Venerable Pyi Phyo Kyaw. He said that without pariyatti, without learning, practice can be misguided and mistaken. For example, let me say that if you want to go to Yangon, and if you take the path to the Mandalay, then you will get to the Mandalay, not to Yangon. So without the proper knowledge, there won't be, you cannot practice properly. And Now, let us look at for the Mahasi Sayadaw's case. Before Mahasi Sayadaw joined the retreat, practice meditation, he was well knowledge in the Dhamma. He was already a lecturer in the temple. So with the knowledge that he has in the text, so he can easily absorb the techniques of the meditation. And you said that Kanthasula is it for the attainment of Nibbana. Just for the attaining of Nibbana is not for the Buddhism. It's just for self-salvation, not for Buddhism. So if you just practice and you get attained to Nibbana and you don't leave any knowledge for new generation to study, then they will be mistaken on the path. And one last time, I would like to say that Anguttara commentary is said that without Sutta and Vinaya, the world is dark. So without pariyatti, practice cannot, meditation, Kanthasula cannot survive. Thank you.
Last round for TP.
Yeah. I strongly disagree with Venerable Kemenda. Yeah. The point is that he said, if you are going to Yangon, it might maybe we can be misunderstood understand our path. So I think this is according to our decision what we have made. We don't make any decision. How could we go there? Yeah, misunderstand. I mean that cannot be. And how did he learn? This is according to Mahasi Sayadaw. How did he learn Pali? Maybe I think from the first time he learned this from in Burmese, not in Pali. So that's why when we say that learning Pali from this is the most important aspect of for Buddhist education. So without translation, perhaps it cannot be fully understood. This is according to my argument. And for the last one, day after day, while we are here, even we chant, we always say that Nibbana, Nibbana. So when he said that Nibbana is for everyone for self-salvation. So this is also, I disagree with him. Nibbana is only for Buddhism. This is what I can see. Okay, you can add any more. Okay.
5 seconds.
5 seconds?
5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you can
then,
attack me. Very good. Then we have 5 minutes now for the teams to prepare the conclusion, because the debate is almost over. So the positions are laid out, and now you all have 5 minutes to prepare what you will conclude and how you will refute the position of the adversary. Opening the conclusion and Team A finishing the debate. So thank you very much.
afternoon, everyone. In the process of Buddhist education, it includes training, instruction, disciplining, cultivating, and developing, and all these. This is the process. So what I want to point out here is that when we talk about Buddhist education, wisdom is the crown and pinnacle. It is the expected end result. I will repeat, our expected end result is enlightenment, to attain Nibbana. And in the process of this education, especially in the Buddhist education, pariyatti is the starting point. It is the first phase. We cannot avoid it, okay? And it should be, but we cannot stand still at the first phase. We have to move on to another phase, the pariyatti. We have to practice. We have to learn theory, and we have to apply this theory. So this is very simple. And only through the second stage, we can realize Pativeda. So in order to quote what our team in the beginning, what Venerable Penyaboga said, it is the most crucial part of the complete Buddhist education. Is not pariyatti alone. Pariyatti alone cannot be accomplished. Pariyatti will have to accompanied by paripatti, the practice. So only by practicing we can gain the enlightenment. So and what our CLA has mentioned is two types of learning, Khandha Dura and Vipassana Dura. So I'm not saying pariyatti is not essential or is not needed, but it is not the most important in Buddhist education. That's what I want to point out. And okay, I want to quote Dhammapada, verses 19 and 20. If a man recites and preaches many spiritual texts but does not act accordingly, that heedless man is like a cowherd who counts another counts. Thank you so much.
Team A, please.
Good afternoon. Our team conclusion is pariyatti is a life of sasana. Or suppose if you want to construct a building, you need to construct a basement first. Pariyatti is also like a basement to attain Nibbana. I doesn't mean, or I don't mean only Pali. Even you learn from Burmese language or Shan language or other language, it's all including in pariyatti. So you need to learn pariyatti first, and then you can practice and you can attain Nibbana. Suppose if you want to check a goal, it's a real or an artificial one, you need to use a norm or a criteria to check it. Like this. Pariyatti is also you can check with the pariyatti. That's the way you go is on the right way or on the wrong way. You can check with the pariyatti. Practice without knowledge is in vain. Our goal is to attain Nibbana, but without pariyatti, in the way you practice, attaining Nibbana will take time and long way for you. For example, at the Buddha time, as there is no pariyatti, so the Buddha need to practice for 6 years.
Thank you very much. So I think that's it. Please, 1 minute now. We will proceed to the vote. I think you all have small white papers with you. I hope you all have a pen or someone near to you will have one pen. You simply have to write A if you think that team A won the debate, or B if you think that team B won the debate. That was yes, pariyatti is the most important aspect of Buddhist education, or no, pariyatti is not the most important part of Buddhist education. I think it was really a great debate. Congratulations to both teams. It was very good. And I'm sorry that the question there was some misunderstanding, but you still did really well. And next time we will solve that before. Well, congratulations. Thank you. We will say who won at the end of the debate. So now there will be some mystery until the end. Thank you. Of course, the members of the teams do not vote, with only the audience. Okay. No. I think I already know. Okay. Thank you so much. May I invite the teams of 2-year MA, Team A and Team B.
We'll start in 2 minutes. For the second debate, the topic is it true a Buddhist tradition grows richer when it incorporates elements from other traditions, even non-Buddhist? So, on my right hand, Team A, who will argue from the point of view of yes, and on my left is the team who will argue from the point of view of no. I welcome all, and I request Team A to open the topic.
Hello everyone, it's good day to all the veterans and my classmates. It's an honor to be the first speaker of my debate. Honestly, this is my first experience in the debate. Okay. So, firstly, I'd like to repeat our topic to make clear all of you. In short, is it beneficial for the Buddhism to cooperate with the other traditions? We say yes, and I strongly want to say yes, because I have many evidence to say. Firstly, let's go back to the time of Buddha. Even in the time of Buddha, Buddha welcomed other traditions and trying to adapt in his own religious set. Okay, when we read the Vinaya Pitaka of the first volume of the Vinaya Pitaka, in this volume, in the Vatsupanayika Khandaka and Uposatha Khandaka, there are 2 evidence, and I will show them. So, do you know why we observe the rainy retreat today? Before that, before Buddha gave an instructions about that, monks go anywhere around the country in 12 years wrong, you know that. But when the people say that, when the people see the monks going around all the time, they criticize the monks. Oh, even the animals like birds and like the rabbits, they live in their holes, in their nest. Even the ascetics and wanderers from the other religions, they live in their own dwelling during the rainy season. Why not the son of Buddha cannot live still during the rainy season? When the Buddha hear that, oh, is it their tradition that we have to observe the rainy season? So it's become a tradition. So this is the first evidence. Even the Buddha welcome if it is beneficial for us. Why it is beneficial? During the rainy season, even for the meditation practice, we can focus on the practice. For the learners, we can focus for our education. So observing rainy retreat is beneficial for us. Okay, another evidence is reciting Patimokkha 2 months a week. So why do we do that? Before we do that, before any occasions in the sasana, we are not the first to do. You know, in one occasion, King Bemisara of the Magadha, he said to the Blessed One, the Lord, even the ascetics and wanderers from the other side, they gather together twice a day, twice a month, and discuss for their affairs. So why do we do that? For the monks, we should gather for our propagation of the sasana. We should discuss. And that's why Buddha adopted this tradition. And right now we have to do reciting Patimokkha twice a month. So this is the strong evidence. Even the Buddha can cooperate or can adopt the useful traditions from the other sides. Okay? And then let's get back to this day. On the previous time, learning English is not the job for the Buddhist monk. Some senior monks, they might say that learning English is like the literature for the lower animal, not for the human. They say anime trichana kata. They say like that. But today we have to learn this. All of us have to learn this, and we have to speak in English. Why? This is the good tradition for the missionary, right? If you want to. In this world today, if the global language is Chinese, then we have to learn Chinese because we have to do the missionary for the whole world. Why don't we grasp and stand still in one place and, we can accept anything? We are unique, we are noble, we can cooperate. Then if you really think, I want to say this thing, if you don't want to cooperate with the other tradition, then you should sign out from this university right now. Okay? Okay, you may think it's a joke. Okay. That is why Usitila and Octosiado, they go around the world and cooperate with the interfaith society, interfaith dialogue, and they are trying to serve the humanity, to cooperate with the other tradition. That's the great example. We should cooperate with them. But we should not lose our soul identity. We should not lose our self-identity. But on the other hand, we have to cooperate with them for the mankind. Okay? That's all I want to say.
Good afternoon to all my teachers and my brothers and sisters. What I would like to tell about is a Buddhist tradition grows richer when it incorporates elements from other traditions. As we all have known that our Buddhism was founded by Buddha. The aim of the Buddha is to save the beings, to overcome all suffering. This is his core aims. That's why he appeared in the world, and then he taught many things, many meditation according to beings' temperaments. After he has passed away, Mahaparinibbana. Before that, in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, he mentioned that all the teachings that I taught, small vinaya, kotaka, sikha, but you can abolish if you want to. But after the Buddha has passed away, Mahakaspa heard Subhadra told that, oh, Buddha Gautama has gone now. We can do what we want to do. And there's an insult the Buddha Sasana. Mahakaspa saw this and then he decided to make a fast council to maintain the Buddha tradition, Buddhist tradition. And then, after that, the first council was separated at 544 BC. After the second council was separated 444 BC. After that, the main role in Buddhism is that council, Ashoka time. Ashoka sent 9 missionaries too, especially in Asia region, including Myanmar and then Sri Lanka. The fourth council was held in Sri Lanka. At the time, his son, Asoka's son, Mahinda, arrived to Sri Lanka and dispensed the Buddha teachings and settled down over there. And then also his sister, Sanghamitta. After that, the fourth council was held. At the time, it was the great center of Buddhist learning. From there, many teachings is imitated by the Sri Lanka at the time to Burma. But according to his historical viewpoints, Sona and Uttaramati also arrived in Suvarna Bhumi at the same time. But later, our pariyatti also imitate from Sri Lanka very, very much. Venerable Mahinda founded Mahavihara in Sri Lanka, and then there are 3 groups in Sri Lanka: Mahavihara, Abhayagiri Vihara, Jedavana Vihara. Of them, some commentators were appeared. They are Buddha Kosa, Buddha Datta, Mahanama, Upasena, Dhammavada 1, Dhammavada 2. Of them, Buddha Kosa, who wrote Visuddhimagga, is very important role in Buddhism, because we now still rely on this text. But here, Visuddhimagga also wrote by Mahayana viewpoint, now still can be found in Chinese translation. And then I will make it brief. Fifth council was held in Mandalay, Myanmar, late 18th century. And then sixth council also held in Yangon, Myanmar, 1954 and 1956, between that. That's why Theravada Buddhism means, Thera means that elders. So we follow the footsteps of our elder Dhamma brothers from Kashyapa, Sariputta, Mahamoggallana, just like this. From them, we are still now maintain what the Buddha taught originally. Okay, and that's why we maintain it originally without abolition. This is what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Now, you have 5 minutes to discuss about the next argument.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to tell you there are many reasons why Buddhism can grow and develop, incorporating with other traditions. Among them, I would like to show you some prominent examples. I want to take 2 examples. Number 1 is using social media for propagations of Buddha Sasana. Number 2 is using technology. Today, almost all the people around the world are familiar with social media, like Facebook and Gmail. There are many advantages as well as disadvantages with using social media. But here, we can use them for the sake of our cultures and our religion. We can deliver Dhamma talk and Dhamma video more easily by using social media today. We can also share Dhamma ebook. We can. Thank you very much.
I don't want to say too much. I just want to say, learning English is not tradition. It is language, just language. And people's gimmick is not tradition. It is technology. Our tradition is Pripuna, Prisota, Brahmacharya, very pure. Our tradition, we don't need to incorporate other tradition into our tradition. For example, we have a cup of milk. If we pour water into this cup, the milk will be tasteless or dilute. And our tradition is very peaceful. We don't need to add some tradition into our tradition. For example, water festival, and fortune teller, and astrology, and then climatology. In Bali, Tantra mantra. Some Samsara or some Shan Sara. They add ong in front of Pali word. For example, ong namo Buddha nu bhavena, ong Dhamma nu bhavena, ong Sangha nu bhavena. This, if we use other tradition, add in our tradition will disappear very soon. So we have to purify our tradition. We have to maintain. We have to propagate our tradition. That's all I want to say.
Second round.
Good afternoon to everyone. According to my topic and according to my opinions, I have to say yes. Why? Today we celebrate a debate. Why do we hold this celebrate? Frankly, the debate culture isn't our tradition, but nowadays many politicians and government officials start to perform political debate and dialogue. So even in our religious field, especially in SSBU, modern scholars trying to introduce the debate culture to our Buddhist education system. That is the reason why we do that today and why I say yes. In our tradition, most people say that if a young man and a child respond to his parents or teachers, or if a child doesn't agree with an idea his elder want him to accept, they may regard the child or student in polite, rude, and disobedient. In the same way, in our education, all students have to obey what the senior man wants to then no comment, no complaint. But today we start to welcome debate culture in our SSBU. So I say yes. That is when kind in incorporating the useful tradition from others in our religion. That is all.
Minglawa Nati Bandi Penuivan Nano Sando and Ubudio. Apinya Dana Pinya Patandi Pinya Dana Pris the most index Sandy. The Bhikkhu will not declare what the Buddha didn't declare. And then the Buddha will not amend what the Buddha declared. And this means the Buddha's monist and the doctrine are very complete. And so since you are dying and go ahead, you must do have your religious. So this is just put them into practice only. Yes. And by the way, do you hear the Buddha have nickname? So the people call him the Buddha is the Anattawari. So Anatta means the non-self. The Anatta is the cause of the wrong view of self. Taka deity comes from the wrong view of self. That is also. And then the no other religion accept it. But the Buddha laid down the Anattawari, so no one should dilute it. And then after the lifetime, his disciple, our community laid down and then they maintain the original tradition of Anattawaras and not to incorporate the element from others. So I would like to suggestion, so you should not dilute it. And then the other thing is the Anattawada is the one of the characteristics of Nirvana. Thank you very much.
This is third and last one.
Good afternoon, lecturer and dear my audience, and again this part Team B. At Venerable Khemasala, Bandija, and Ahobata said, not true. Why? Even you say the Buddhist Council, first to sing, held in India, in Sri Lanka, in Myanmar, and come to Sumana for me, different tradition. Right? Why you, if you don't like the culture, civilization or globalization, why the Buddhist Council gets only, should held only in India? Why Buddhist Council go to Sri Lanka, come to Burma, even to Thailand? That's why, if the culture is very good, in Kalama Sutta say, if the culture is good, we have to accept it, live up to it. That's why the culture, a Buddhist culture, for example, the Buddhism come to our country, mixed with our culture. In Shan culture, we have 12-month culture. Many people come to the temple during the marriage, during the whole time, practice the 5 reserve and 8 reserve during Vasa. That's why Buddhism should develop with the other culture. Now we can't live only in our home or our village. Globalization, the world as a small village. linguistic point of view, socio-linguistic, even the Buddhist Council held different languages, Sanskrit or the other Makata and Sinhalese, and in Burma and Thailand, there are so many different. That's why. And one point, Einstein said, we can't live only one place. And we study universe and we see the truth. That's all I want to say.
Namaste, everybody. Okay. The Dhamma that Buddha taught is Dukkha, Anicca, and Anatta. It has three aspects, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, which cover everything from speech, behavior, livelihood, meditation, viewpoint, your intention. There's nothing left. And he, having got his enlightenment, all this Dhamma that he taught was after enlightenment. There was nothing left to remove from or add, no addition and no deletion. Dhamma is paripunya. It is complete, it is perfect. Change the form. You don't like this form, you put it in another form. Like you said, you want to take from here, remove the content. Content you need not touch. You simply cannot do any better than the Buddha. You don't need to incorporate anything from anywhere. There is no evidence that by following Sila, somebody has not benefited. By following Samadhi or Panya, they have not benefited or they have come to any harm. There is no evidence. And there is evidence that everybody who has followed pariyatti, who has followed patipatti, who has gone on to pativedhan, have reached the final goal. So if your aim is the final goal, you do not need to change any of the content. You don't need to. All the Buddhas from the past, before Gautama, have just said this, Dukkha, Anicca, Anatta, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. It leads to Nibbana. You don't need to change. You don't need to incorporate from any other religion. Thank you. Okay, hello again. We cannot incorporate from any other religion. However good things may be in that religion, for that period of time, and for those groups of people. If something is good for a particular community, for that particular period of time, it does not necessarily mean even for them, now it might be good. It changes. Buddha Dhamma does not change. It does not need to change. So there is no need. Like I said, form may change. Content should not change. Cultures change according to time and people's requirement. Tradition, culture changes. Tradition does not need to change. Our Dhamma, Buddha Dhamma, is wholesome, complete, pure. It leads to Nibbana. Okay. In Vinaya Pitaka, Buddha himself said not to translate into Brahmi script because like water seeps, something unnecessary will seep in and it will spoil. In Ashoka's time, up to that time, a lot of hearsay had seeped in to Dhamma and a lot of wrong things were happening. he called for an arhat, and in that Sangiti, he made sure that everything that was wrong was just removed and expelled. So I think we do not need to, we are not going to, whitewash a golden globe or somebody's golden aura. We cannot add to it. Let us leave it as it is, follow it as it is, and reach our own individual goals. Thank you.
Team A.
Okay, hello again. Okay, first I'd like to defend for the point that Venerable and Shubha said. I believe that our tradition is, our religious system is perfect, no need to add. It doesn't mean we can cooperate with any others. Why not? We can, why, for example, if we want to do charity walks for social work, can we cooperate with the other tradition? For example, in our religious system, we can take example from the Christianity because they are more active than in the social work, in the hospital care, then we can cooperate with them, right? So even for the Goenka, Shubha, you come lately from that retreat, and in the example of the Goenka, he go around the world for the meditation practice, and he doesn't ask for, I will open the meditation retreat only in the pagoda compound. I will only accept even if you convert from other religions to the Buddhism. He even opened the retreat even in the prison, in the mosque, even in the church. There's a way of cooperation with other religions. So if a tradition is beneficial for us, for the humanity, we should welcome them with open arms, and we should be ready to cooperate with them anytime. And Venerable Pandita said, rituals and rites and rituals like celebrating water festival, okay, this may be the superficial layer of the religion, but from that we can get benefits. Right now in the Shan state, during the water festival season, everybody in the town go to the monastery and do merits. Buddha didn't say to do that, but it is a good tradition, and that's why they maintain it. Okay? And that's all I wish to say.
Now, I hope everyone has achieved to vote for the team. If not, please tell us.
This is A, B. You only need to write one letter.
Counting the votes, the vote for the first debate are already counted, and then we will announce the two teams that have won. And before we do that, I would just like to thank you all again. Thank both teams. They have done it in a wonderful way. And thank you everyone for coming. Actually, not the teaching staff and all the people who have come to participate in the debate as the audience and voting. And I hope this is the first one of a series of debates. Even this year, maybe next term we can try again with some other topics. I hope you've all enjoyed. One thing that I didn't want to forget to say is that in a way it can be, this kind of activity can be seen as something a little bit frivolous, because finally it doesn't matter what you think, it matters what you have to defend in your, so it's purely a rhetoric exercise or rhetorical exercise, and that's what it is. That's why I said it's a kind of game. It's also for us to create a team spirit and to have a good time, to forget about our stress, and also to practice this kind of dialectic thinking, because for a debate, when we prepare, we have to prepare our side, and we have to anticipate the other side. That in the Pali tradition is the Chodana and Parihara. So I hope that the experience is not only, not only you have some fun, but also it can give you some ideas in when you are preparing your essays. Because finally an essay is like having a debate against an imaginary opponent. Someone who is not exact. Sometimes it's not imaginary. Unfortunately, sometimes it's the real arrows against some particular person. But sometimes, generally, you want to defend some point, and then you anticipate. It could be argued that actually this and this and that, but it's not true because this and this. So this is usually the way we can write a good essay. First, that's more or less respecting the structure that we had here, with an opening, laying out what's your point, and then giving the reasons why you defend that, possible reasons why it could not be true, but then you refute them, and in the end you give a conclusion. In real life then, of course, again, some people will accept it, some people will not accept it. That's not your responsibility. And here again, there will be 2 winners, but that doesn't mean anything really. It's just for the sake of having some fun. And if you won, congratulations. If you lost, next time you'll have a chance to to do it better, or to. It's not about, as you see, it's not about doing it good or bad, but convincing the audience how convincing you are. This is also what happens with the essays. You might have very good ideas, but if they are not properly expressed, maybe it doesn't sound very convincing. So without further ado, Dr. Anuja will announce who are the winners of the... Shan, right? We have some technical problems. Actually, I still have to vote for the second one. So.
So, first I want to congratulate all. And winner for debate 1 is Team A. And fortunately or unfortunately, for debate 2, Team A is the winner. So, congratulations. If you want to know the voting numbers, should I open? So first, in first debate, Team A won 14 votes and Team B won 4 votes. And for second debate, Team A got 12 voting and Team B 7. There is 1 neutral position, so that's the addition for Team second debate. Thank you.
I just want to add one thing, that I saw it coming that the Team A would win again, but if you see that in a way what the Team A was saying in the first debate is what Team B was saying in the second debate. It just approaching it from a different perspective. So that's also, it was a kind of trap that I planted and finally it worked, because we can see that both Team A's were defending things that in a way were contradictory, but they were both convincing, so they won the debate. So this is also something that you can observe. Depending on the way you put the question, you formulate the question, then maybe it's approaching one way or the other, or it's more or less convincing. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and that's it for today. Hope to meet you again in the next debate. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there tea? There are some drinks, if anyone.